Did I do something?
What do you want out of this? You're a young woman. You're young, you're beautiful, you're smart. You can find someone. You find someone who is healthy. You don't have to be with someone who you're going to be taking care of for the rest of your life.
Driving Mr. Banks is the movie I'm reviewing today, and this movie has been out for about a month now, and this movie is produced by Blessing Obasi Nze. Executive producer of this movie is Colette Otishiso. Director of this movie is Harry Doku. And story and screenplay of this movie is by Eyo Emmanuel. This movie can be found on YouTube on Accelerate Studios. A quick recap of this movie is Yomi, who is a director of tech company, could not drive himself anymore, hired a driver. Now, he wanted a male driver but ended up getting a female driver, which he actually approved at the end due to how the driver found him in an uncompromised manner. And because he wanted to hide the secret, he hired the female driver. Now, both of them actually fell in love, but Yomi's tremor ended up getting worse, which made him got suspended from his tech company. Hawa, whose mother is a nurse, knew what was wrong with Yomi and wanted to find solution to his problem, which they eventually did. They found solution to his trauma, and this was due to his childhood trauma, and at the end found out that he was wrongly diagnosed by his doctor. So that's basically what this movie is about. And that was a quick recap of this movie. What I like about this movie, first of all, let me start by saying that kudos to whoever wrote the story. I love a quick and short and straight to the point storyline. This is a very different feel and very entertaining movie to watch. Trust me, if you watch this movie, you will not regret it. This is a must-watch movie, and I love the fact that it talks about childhood trauma and also talks about wrong diagnosis. So this is a must-watch, guys. This was really a very interesting movie. This movie has a feel of a new story altogether, not being told overly sold storyline that we have seen in movies on YouTube. So this was really a very good watch. So the storyline is very interesting to watch. Directing, casting, and acting of this movie, that's performance in general. I love Stan Nze's acting so much. The way this guy acts, there's no role that you give him he will not act it, even though you can feel the Igbo-ness in him, but he nailed this role so well. The way he was acting, the tremor, his face was, no, this guy can act. I give it to him. His performance in this movie was so good. And also, and Hawa, played by Nwakanma. This lady, first of all, if you have watched my previous reviews, I thought this girl or this lady was a child. What I mean by a child, I thought she was in her early 20s, just going to 22, 23. That was how I was picturing her. But the movies that I've watched recently, that I've reviewed about her and realized that this lady might just be in her late 20s or close to late 20s, and I'm like, well, this girl can act. She played the Hawa, the driver, who was driving Mr. Banks in this movie, and she nailed her role. I enjoyed her role very well. When she was trying to defend herself, when she was falling in love, everything about her, when she was emotional, her crying, I enjoyed her role so much. So yes, she did super well in this movie. And I also love the other characters. Every other character in this movie actually brought in their A game. Kudos to the director, making sure that every character in this movie did what they were supposed to do in this movie. Another character I love is Collins, played by Sonto Eze. This guy has mastered the art of playing supporting cast. I don't know why. He majorly plays supporting cast, laid-back character. I don't know why they cast him for that. He has mastered it, and he has been doing super well in all the movies that he's always supporting the main character. I love what he did in this movie. Like I said, supporting cast, he's at the back. but he did super well. And kudos to Hawa's mother in this movie. She did well. The emotional part was played very well. So that was really good. So performances in general, everyone in this movie brought in their A game. At the location, I'll give props to the office that was used in this movie. I love the office scenes so much. You could feel that this is the natural office that they used. It was not, some small. Yeah, I just love that it felt like an actual office that they used. You could see the secretary department. Everything on that set was really pretty, and the secretary herself was looking good. And that brings me to costume of this movie was super cool as well. And finally, I give props to this doctor. This doctor has been acting. I don't know if she's an actual doctor in real life, but every movie that I watch her and she is a doctor, she acts so well. So kudos to Blessing or Basize for using her all the time in her movies. She always played the doctor in those movies and she nails it. So I won't be surprised if she's an actual doctor in real life. And recently, Bolaji is also using her in playing doctor roles as well. So that should tell you how she is really embodying this doctor roles in this movie. So kudos to her. I think she's building her own portfolio in terms of these particular roles like this. So yeah, she's one character I really look forward to. One last but not the least thing that I love about this movie is how they made an awareness on childhood trauma. Sometimes we pass through certain things that enable us to a certain way. We don't know that this is what is causing us acting the way we are until someone, a therapist, bring it to our acknowledgement. So this movie kind of teaches us that sometimes you're not just sick. It's because of the things that happened to you in the past. You are still living your past. That is why you feel sick. And I think this movie kind of talks about highlight that. So sometimes when you go to hospital and they say you are positive this, I think you should go to another hospital and check. In fact, you should double, triple check if what the first doctor said is true, the second doctor said is true or not. And I think this movie kind of talks about that. So I love what they did in this movie. What I don't like about this movie, I'll start with the therapists who played by Blessings and Eze. Her office was really not appealing at all. I could feel that they did not use an actual office for that therapy sessions. So the therapy session in this movie was not really cool. The location of the therapist was not cool. Fashion sense of the therapist was not cool, and the whole session itself was super not cool. When she also broke Mr. Banks to open up about his past, my question was, so while he was attending all this therapy session, the therapist could not hug the fact that this has something to do with his past. The tremor in your hand and face that you're feeling is not sickness. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not sick. It might be something else. And Mr. Banks has to tell the therapist this before he was able to say, so this thing happened to me in the past. Do you get my point? I don't know if you guys get my point, but I wasn't trying to therapist is supposed to help you build momentum. Until a doctor tells you something, the therapist cannot find what exactly is wrong with you. Is that what they are saying? So doctor first before therapist. Maybe. Another thing I didn't like about this movie was the connection between Hawa and Yomi. I'll say this. Anytime there's Stan Eze and Blessing Eze in one movie, it's always hard to see each of them have romantic relation in a movie or romantic relation with another character on the same set. I haven't seen it yet because on a norm, when Stan Eze acts on set where there's no Blessing on that set, and there's a romantic scene, he embodies that character. But when Blessing is on that same set, there's no, they write a story in a way that the character does not have intense or good romantic scene for that character. And I'm like, hello, you guys are in love, there's no love connection, there's no bonding, nothing. No, I don't, hello, wait till they happen here, you know. And I know that it's because, you know, the couple are on set. I just know that, yeah, such a thing is not going to happen. So what I'm saying is I did not feel that connection between Stanley and Chai. Yeah, I mean there was connection, but I wasn't feeling. I just know that you were just playing along. You could not feel, you could not connect with what they were doing. You could just feel that, oh, okay, yeah, it's a laid back acting that was happening with those love connections or love scenes. So that was one thing I did not like. And another thing I didn't like was how they did not show us anything relating to the accident at all. We heard he had an accident, so he cannot drive. Hello, nothing to show, like nothing. We should just imagine that he had an accident. Or they should have make another connection to relating to what happened to him, not just driving. I mean, yeah, the title is Driving Mr. Banks, but yeah, I mean, hello, waiting they happen for here. So that was another thing I didn't like. Basically, those are just the things I did not like. And on that note, I'm rating this movie a 6/10. Yes, this movie is good. You should watch it on Accelerate Studio. It's a very good watch. I would definitely recommend it, and it's not time consuming. Your time will be well spent watching this movie. So guys, on that note, thank you so much for watching. Do subscribe to the channel and leave a comment. Give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you all in my next movie review.